Now, I've been in the fishing tackle industry for a long time, and I've been involved in teaching people about how to tie knots and get things organised for a very long time as well. And it's interesting, you know, people walk through my door and they say, "Oh, have you seen this new knot? It works really fantastic." And I have a bit of a look at it and think, well, you know, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Because you see, I have some knots that have been so successful, they are so good, I don't actually want to change. I know their breaking strain is extremely high, and I'm going to show you one which I think is very simple, and if you can add it into your repertoire of knots, you'll do very well. And it's called the improved clinch knot. Now, where would I use this? I would use this if I was tying on a swivel, if I was tying on a fly, if I was tying on a lure. I could use it if I'm tying on a game lure. I can use it in all sorts of applications, and the thing I like about it, it's rated as being a 98% knot. That means that if you've got nylon that's a 100-pound breaking strain, it will break over 98 pounds. So you're only losing 2 pounds for what you do. And in fact, if you double it over, and you can do that, you can get it to break over 100%. It'll break somewhere else up the line. So it is a favoured knot. And once learnt, it's with you forever. A bit like riding a bike. Now, what I want to do is show you how to do it. Now, we're going to imagine that, I know it's a pair of scissors, that is the eye of the hook. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie this eye of the hook with an improved clinch knot. So here's how it works. We thread the line through the eye of the hook, and then I put this around, the tag end goes around the main standing line, this is the standing line here, 5, 5.5 or 6 times. Now here's a really interesting thing. If you do it 4.5 times or you do it 6.5 times, the breaking strain decreases. Isn't that weird? And the reason is because it's the way the lock of the knot shows that's really important. If it gets a big hump in it, or it's got too many turns, or it's got too few turns, it's going to affect its properties. So remember, 5, 5.5 or 6 turns. Now I've worked out there about 5 or so turns, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end now and I'm going to pop it through the little gap that's made right up where the eye of the hook is. Now, having popped that through there, I want to pull it a little bit tight, because obviously we're working with a reasonably thick material here. Much easier to do when you've got it in nylon, might I say. Now that little tag end, I now want to pop back through the big loop that I've made here. So here's what it looks like. It's a bit like macrame really, but we've come through this little eye here, and we're coming back through this big hole here. Now, I've got myself positioned here. What I need to do is take my third hand, and I'll show you what my third hand is. That's right here, okay? And I'm going to hold this end, but I'm not going to pull this end. Here we go. As I pull it, it starts winding down and down and down, and there is a well-tied knot. You notice it, as it comes down, it spirals down and it pulls up nice and tight. Now, when you pull on that, that should be completely tight. And then you can snip off right at the end there, and away you go. You're out there fishing with a high-quality knot. Have fun.